Hey fam, Phil Ross here, LoanGo2Guy, and it's no secret, mortgage rates have skyrocketed to a point where many home buyers are asking the question, does it still make sense to buy in this current housing market? So stay tuned as we tackle this hot topic. Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us today. If this is your first time joining us, what we do here at LoanGo2Guy Weekly is share insightful tips, insights, and best practices for future home buyers, just to make your process as smooth as possible when you're trying to get those keys in your hands. So if you like what you hear today and you'd like to hear more, please hit the subscribe button, and it doesn't hurt if you hit that like button. So let's get going.
6.7% is what you're looking at now for a 30-year mortgage, according to Freddie Mac. That is the highest since July of 2007.
So naturally, the question becomes, does it still make sense for me to buy a house in this current market? You know, let's face it, no one wants to buy a home today only to wake up a couple months from now and you could have got that same house for $50,000 less than what you just paid it for. To get to your answer of should I buy in this current market, there are two main things that you should be considering. Here they are. Number one is supply and demand and its impact on your housing prices in your specific market. And number two, whether or not these current interest rates are here to stay or just temporary. With the higher interest rates, affordability immediately became an issue. As a result, home sales started to stall. Homes that were selling within days were now sitting on the market for weeks and even months. Here's the interesting part. Starting in June, there was a big spike in listings as many sellers, thought, oh crap, I better get my house on the market. However, since that time, sales have actually, listings, have actually tapered off a little bit as many sellers realize that, wait a minute, I better hold on and stay put to what I have because I'm probably better off with that versus selling my house and having to take on a new mortgage with a higher interest rate, which means less affordability. So I went a long way of really saying that right now in this current housing environment, we're kind of in a strange place right now when it comes to supply and demand. So unlike the housing crash that we saw a few years back, where a lot of houses suddenly started flooding the market as far as supply, in this case, not only do you have a lot of buyers on the sideline due to affordability issues, but you now also have a lot of would-be sellers who are staying on the sideline, not listing their homes. So now let's jump into the second key factor that I mentioned earlier, and that's current interest rates. So be careful when you're seeing these headlines talking about a 50% housing crash and all that kind of stuff. Even the most seasoned gurus right now are scratching their heads trying to figure this thing out because we're kind of in newer ground, but probably will correct and housing prices will come back down, probably in the range of 8 to 10% over the next year or so. That's at least my thought. In my personal opinion, I think these interest rates that we're at right now, this level that we're at, is going to come back down. Maybe not in the next couple months, but certainly within the next year or so. And here's my reasoning behind that.
The economy and the impact on your bottom line. The Fed's
Now, we've been hearing for the last 6 to 8 months that the Fed will be raising interest rates to combat the rise in inflation that we're facing right now. So I'm no economic guru, I'm just a mortgage guy. However, traditionally, what drives inflation are two things. One is workforce growth and rise in employment, and the other thing is money supply entering our market too rapidly. Now, without getting too deep in the weeds on economic talk, workforce growth is really low right now, and it's expected to stay low over the next decade or so. Which brings me to what I believe is the true cause of our current inflation situation: the massive influx of money supply into our economy over the last couple of years. Now, I'm certainly not going to get into whether it's right or wrong for the stimulus package that came out, because I know I certainly cashed my check. My bigger point is that the stimulus that we saw over the last couple of years is for the most part in the rearview mirror now, putting less pressure as far as inflation in the upcoming years. So based on these things I just shared with you, it's my personal view that the inflation that we've seen, especially the surge that we've seen over the last couple of years, will be short-lived. And with inflation coming back to earth, along with the recession that we're facing right now, it's my personal opinion that rates will soon follow. So that's the good news. So unless you're a flipper, someone who is looking to buy short term and make a profit, if you are that person, this is probably not the best market for you to buy in. But if you're a home buyer who's simply trying to buy a home that you own for you and your family, and you're not quite sure if this is the market that you should buy in, here's really what my recommendation is for you. If you find the right home that fits your family's needs and it's affordable and meets all your goals, then buy. Understand your market, affordability, price, demand, and how easy you can resell your home if you need to sell at any point. Take advantage of any kind of buyer benefits such as seller paid closing costs and or 2-1 buy down programs. And if you're not quite sure what a 2-1 buy down is, please check the link below in my description there, and it goes into a little bit more on what a buy down is. And the other thing is, when you buy, marry the house, not the mortgage, with the understanding that rates will likely be dropping back into the stratosphere within the next year or so. And when they do, you just simply refinance your home. All right, thank you for joining us today, and please feel free to leave a comment down below. We love to hear your feedback. If you like this content, please feel free to subscribe, hit that like button, and until next time, make it a great day.